So, we recently checked out these two premium Yaber projectors on the channel, and they both sport excellent projection quality and built-in speakers. But most importantly, they are reasonably priced compared to the usual household brands and don't differ too much in terms of their respective retail price. The Yaber Ace K1 goes for 1,799 ringgit and the Yaber K2s goes for 2,099 ringgit in Malaysia. And in the US, the Ace K1 retails for $500 and the K2s retails for $600 on Amazon. So is it worth paying more for the Yaber K2s, and are you missing out a lot by paying less on the Ace K1? Let's find out. In terms of design, the Yaber Ace K1 and K2s feature very modern looking designs that will easily appeal to home entertainment enthusiasts. I love the fabric talk of the Ace K1 as it doesn't attract smudges and dust like the K2s's matte surface. But despite that, the K2s might actually save you time in cleaning as it doesn't have grills and vents around its body like the Ace K1. And interestingly, the K2s has a filter for preventing dust from going into the projector, which is the very first time I'm seeing one on a projector. Nonetheless, these are really good looking projectors, and in terms of ports, the Yaber Ace K1 is more versatile as you get 2 HDMI inputs, 2 USB-A ports, and there's even an RJ45 port if you prefer wired connectivity. But that's not to say there isn't enough ports on the Yaber K2s. It still has 2 HDMI ports, but one of them is hidden under the projector that's reserved for its Android TV stick. And instead of 2 square USBs, it has 1 USB-A and USB-C port. Though I am slightly disappointed that the latter doesn't support display input and fast USB PD charging. The K2s also has an NFC contact point where you can tap your phone to mirror your screen, which is super convenient if you want to do a quick presentation and isn't available on the Ace K1. Unlike many similar priced household branded projectors, the Yaber Ace K1 and K2s have their respective built-in smart operating systems, so you aren't getting a blue screen when you turn on the projector for the first time. But despite that, they are still very different. In the case of the Yaber Ace K1, you are already getting Android out of the box with some pre-installed streaming apps and even some cool content recommendation that's taken from YouTube, which saves you the convenience of plugging in an Android TV stick or TV box if you want to consume content immediately right out of the box. But meanwhile, you are also limited to the apps on its built-in App Store, and since it isn't a Google certified operating system, you naturally don't get certified Netflix, and even though there's one pre-installed, it is the smartphone version which doesn't have great controls and can't stream movies in HD. This is where the Yaber K2s is better than the Ace K1. It still has a Linux-based operating system that lets you do basic input switching, smartphone mirroring, and as an office file viewer. It also has cool features like an ambient screensaver mode that looks really nice when it is left idle. But most importantly, its Android TV stick is an official Google certified unit and you can download more apps on the Google Play Store, which I personally prefer if I were to stream high quality content on my projector. Projection quality wise, I think they have very little difference in brightness when projecting at the same distance. But if you have a bigger wall, you should definitely consider the Yaber K2s as it has a slightly higher 800 NC lumens brightness, but none of the projection is visible with lights turned on. These two projectors have superb built-in speakers and really beats other similar class projectors out of the water. But between them, I definitely prefer the more punchy and refined sound from the JBL speakers of the Yaber K2s, which outputs a total power of 20 watts. The Yaber Ace K1 has a single 15-watt speaker which can easily fill a room but distorts when you max out its volume. Brook Projector supports Bluetooth audio which you can make use of their speakers when you are watching it. Here's how they sound like. Overall, the Yaber Ace K1 and K2s have their respective pros and cons. I would consider the Yaber Ace K1 to be more suitable for offices as it comes with more input options, and not to mention it has better controls on the top if you happen to misplace the remote. And in terms of the Yaber K2s, I think it is more suitable for homes, as you're probably going to use the Android TV stick most of the time for consuming content, but at the same time, it gives you options for other inputs when you need it. This brings us to the end of this simple comparison, and let me know what you guys think about it. Thanks for watching and get subscribed to us, and I'll see you in the next one.